talking with Bette Davis. I hate to talk to you about only Hollywood, and yet everybody who goes there either goes crazy or succeeds or commits suicide or does something dramatic, and they always say, and those who hate it, the writers and the actors always say, I'm saving this for my book. I'm going to write a book about it. And all.
Yes.
What's the best book written about Hollywood? Has there ever been one that told it as it is?
I think Bud Schulberg's.
What Makes Sammy Run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the best book to describe what those incredible men that we worked for, that seemed to us so inartistic and so lacking in knowledge of the art part of making a movie, that they had something. And they had something, you don't know what it was. It was a kind of a magic, gambling, intuitive thing. That has gone. We now have oil companies owning the studios. It's all business today. And those men that were exasperating because there was no way of communicating with the way they thought. But they, boy, gave us our chances. They gambled. Think of the money they gambled on someone like me before the money really started coming back. They gambled. Gambling has gone. I mean, you don't on a set today dare play some little joke. Somebody will come up and say, come on, come on.
Costing money.
So all the fun has even gone out of it. We used to pull gags on sets. We made pictures in 4 and 5 weeks. Way back there, Dark Picture was made in 4 weeks. We didn't waste any time. We had a little fun. Because it's a very long day, you know.
Would it be wrong to say it was affection you had for those men, though? I mean, how do you feel about the fact that if you had bombed in 3 more movies in a row at a certain point in your career, you would not have been able to get them on the phone again the rest of your life? They would just
well, I would just walked into the office and sat.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get them. Yeah. You know, really. I must say I never couldn't get in and see Jack. And the other thing, I always could go to him, because he was the head man. If I go through 10 other people with messages, we with all the talk and all the... This groan and groan and groan about Jack Warner and me. We had a pretty smashing relationship. And one thing, he did respect me. Because at least I was honest and came out and said what was what.
And there wasn't that sense of if you had failed for them, and they wouldn't have cared if they ever saw you again.
Oh, on their side, no affection. Mm-hmm. On their side, my dear, I finished 18 years at Warner's, built many sound stages there, never got a letter of goodbye, ended up in the back lot with a sound man, Heinz Blanke, a producer, till dawn, having drinks, and that's how I left the Warner lot.
No big goodbye party, nothing engraved, no...
Oh, no. If you go into this business and expect gratitude or thanks, this is why we all have to get very tough about what we will and won't do. Because if we don't, they will just take advantage of you till it's unbelievable. There is no affection from there to here. But there were, for many actors, great gratitude from here to there.
That's interesting.
And you know, 4 compliments a year, we never would have asked for so much money. Truthfully.
That's the one thing they didn't realize.
They never knew it. Actors are complete suckers for good parts, you know, and just saying, you did a good job, Betty. Never, never, never.
But if they'd known it would have saved money.
I think it would have made a whole different salary scale in California. Yes, I do. They only respected you by how much money you made. You could be the same actress at $650 a week or $30,000 a week. And you're a much better actress at $30,000 a week. When I made Jezebel, I was only making $650 a week, which was a phenomenally small salary. I'd been there quite a while. Faye Bainter was making twice my salary.
Yeah.
But I never fought for money, you see, until many, many years later. I fought for parts, and that automatically makes it work. Then there comes a time they cannot help but change your contract because it's so obvious how much money you're making.
Do you ever think about the women who envy you? I mean by that, whenever there's an interview with somebody who talks about how tough any part of their acting career was.
Still water.
It is. You know, I mean, there's a woman somewhere now who's saying, if I would give 10 years of my dreary life here in Pennsylvania or wherever she is for one night where I go down Hollywood Boulevard in a limousine and they open the door and I walk past barricades of 20 and 30 and 40 screaming, you know, or dozens of screaming people pressing at me and being pushed back and flashbulbs popping. And what's it, you know?
This, of course, must make many people wish they could do it. If you ever got blasé enough not to be thrilled by, say, a reception like this tonight, or people outside who care about you, if you ever get bored or blasé about that, it's shocking, because these are the rewards. Of course they're the rewards for, you know, in my case, 30, 71, this is 41 years I've been in this business.
Wow.
Now, you know, I don't know why I'm still alive, but somehow it keeps on going. I feel I should be dead. It's been so long.
That's a very modest thing to say.
No, imagine, 41 years I've been in this business. And of course it's rewarding that people still know you. My good fortune to be known by the young people today is the late television. See, I have had 2 careers. All the kids today would never know anything about people in my era without late television. You realize that.
That's right. And more people know you from that.
We all were furious about the residuals. We should have gotten our residuals, but in a way, this is a bigger reward. You know, so naturally, it is a thrill. But that is not what the real thrill is, which I would say to any young person. The limousines and all the crowds you really sweat for about 15 years. And you've got to love the actual sweat more than the lights and the glamour and the whole thing. This you must love the most. The other will follow, and then you just thank God that you made it. You know. So, but I can understand it. The greatest thing about having made it in movies is when you travel. It is, Dietrich said this once, and she's so right. It's just heaven. Or going to restaurants, they'll shove people out or anything. Or if there's 2 seats on a plane and you've got to have them, you'll get them. You know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I often get very guilty about this and think, oh, I hope I never meet the poor person that was told he couldn't have seats for this. But the traveling thing is absolutely marvelous. People, for instance, way off in Scotland, the way people took care of me, you know, cared about me. When we arrived in Glasgow, of course, you knew when my career started by the fans that were there. There wasn't anything but a white hair in the bunch. But these beautiful Scotch women who were really crying, they never thought in their lives, and they'd known me 40 years, they really felt they knew me, thought in their lives to see me. You know, they all brought the little bunches of heather. It was really, this is part of the reward. But boy, you don't get that for a long, long time. And that must never be your motive. See, that can't be the motive. Because that isn't what you want the most. You want to get on that stage and work.
Very well said. Local stations have a message. We'll be back.